So in Noida there are two types of Booger Blasters. Both of them shoot slime balls that deal about 14 damage, and leave a trail of toxic sludge, which deals 2% of your max health as damage per second, until your health is under 2%. That means that toxic sludge will wither your health down, but it won't take you to 0. These weak ones have 7.5 health, and the strong ones have 19.75. So before we start talking about how to deal with these two guys, you need to make sure that you have water. If you didn't start your game with water, dump it out. Walk into the cave until you see a little dip, drop into it and scoop up some water. You're only going to get like 2 to 5%, but that's all you need. Just throw that into some other toxic sludge you find in the game, and now you have a lot more water. We also need to remember that the Spitter Bolt does 7.5 damage, the Energy Sphere does 10 damage, and Spark Bolts and Bouncing Bursts do 3 damage. This means that the Spitter Bolt and the Energy Spheres will one-hit kill these weak Booger Blasters, and take 2 to 3 hits for the strong ones. And finally, remember that each time we hit one of these guys, it'll cause them to spew out more toxic sludge. So ideally, we want to one-hit kill them if at all possible. Or in other words, if we're playing with the Spark Bolts and the Bouncing Bursts, we really want to upgrade our wands as soon as possible. Even just changing this from a single firing to a burst firing wand will help us take them down quicker, which means less toxic sludge. Alright, so now that we have water, we're prepared with knowledge, let's dig into tips and tactics on how to actually fight these guys. Number 1, the most important, if at all possible, we want to have an ascending engagement with these Booger Blasters. What that means is you want to be climbing up and away from them. This will draw the enemy towards you, and it puts you up and above the toxic sludge. The second tactic we have is you want to line up a shot around a corner, take that shot, and then immediately break line of sight by hiding around that corner. This will cause the enemy to chase you down, which provides you with a second opportunity as they cross around that corner to take another shot at them, and then you can just run around another corner again. You repeat this until they die. If you do this right, they won't even be able to shoot a single shot at you. Third, consider spell modifiers that will freeze, burn, or electrify them. Personally, I only recommend freezing, but all 3 of these will pause the engagement. They won't be able to shoot back at you. This gives you ample time to finish off the kill. And also, when they're frozen, they won't be spitting out any toxic sludge anywhere. But you need to be aware of the hazards with using these spell modifiers. Obviously, electric can kill you. Obviously, fire can burn you. Freezing can freeze toxic sludge, converting it into toxic ice. Toxic ice will hurt you on contact, and it will hurt you even if you're below 2% health, unlike the liquid toxic sludge. Fourth tip is avoid toxic sludge by staying up high, using overhangs to block sludge trails from falling down on you, and spray water whenever it's safe to do so to get rid of any toxic sludge. Those are obvious and I'm sure you already knew them, but they're still worth saying. The fifth tip is to remember to only take unfair fights. If you don't have an advantage in an engagement, you should run away. If you don't see an opportunity to use one of the tactics that we just talked about, you should run away. If you're not able to run away, that means you fucked up, because you should always have an exit from every engagement you take in Noida. But let's say you are stuck, you're cornered. Try driving yourself high up into the ceiling, and then dropping down low to take a shot, and then immediately flying back up into the ceiling. Slime balls should pass beneath you harmlessly, while you get a free shot at them. And again, remember that the more times you shoot them, the more toxic sludge they're going to bleed. So we really want to one-shot them as much as possible, as soon as possible. Those are all the tips I have, but the main takeaway is that if we can't freeze or kill these Booger Blasters in one shot, we want to be kiting up and away from them. This creates distance from their attacks, giving us more time to evade, and it puts us farther away from the toxic sludge that they leave behind. If you have any other tips that I missed, please let us know below. If there's another enemy that you would like tips and tricks for, also leave a comment below. If you don't want to leave a comment, but this was helpful, please just leave a thumbs up. That lets me know that this was useful to you and I can make more for the community. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time.